After 3 days of testing in Bahrain, the drivers have gathered a wealth of crucial data, which will now be shared with the engineers to fine-tune the performance of the latest cars built with ground-effect aerodynamics. This crucial information will help the teams maximize their cars' potential as they prepare for the upcoming Australian GP. With only 2 weeks before the race in Melbourne, every team knows there's no room for mistakes. Time is running out, and no team can afford to hide their weaknesses any longer. Among all the talk, rumors are swirling about Ferrari's next move. They're rumored to have a game-changing surprise in store. According to sources, their first set of upgrades is already in the works and could give them a major advantage as the season kicks off. But what exactly are these upgrades, and will they be enough to close the gap? As expected, McLaren dominated the early stages of the season, emerging from the testing phase in the best shape. Their MCL39 car showed exceptional balance and strength, though not without a few weaknesses that could echo the problems of their previous model, the MCL38. Ferrari, like the other top teams, had hoped for more impressive results, especially after making significant changes to their SF25. While the SF25 has had some issues, they aren't related to a lack of raw speed. Still, Ferrari engineers have a lot of work ahead of them. These adjustments have already begun after the first round of simulator testing. However, the conditions in Australia, with higher temperatures and a more demanding layout, may present a new set of challenges compared to Bahrain. McLaren's early performance has been impressive, especially in Lando Norris's race simulation on Thursday afternoon, where he shocked the competition with his consistency and speed over the 57-lap simulation. The data from Norris's run, combined with Charles Leclerc and Antonelli's tests, showed the MCL39 is a formidable force in low-temperature conditions. McLaren's front axle stood out, offering great stability, something that was especially noticeable when comparing it to previous models. The anti-dive suspension setup is another standout feature, showing how much effort Andrea Stella's team has put into refining the car's performance. Yet, when the temperature rose, McLaren's car didn't perform as well, indicating potential weaknesses that could arise in warmer conditions, a factor that will be key when the season heads to Australia. Now let's shift our focus to Ferrari's situation. The team's SF25 car has had its challenges, but it's clear there's no shortage of speed in the vehicle. The major issue has been its setup, which has caused some difficulty in adapting the car to different conditions. There's a noticeable improvement in the front axle, with a forward shift in the car's center of gravity that should offer more stability, especially in circuits like Melbourne's Albert Park. Despite these positive adjustments, the car's balance issues still need attention, particularly in braking performance, where Ferrari's SF25 was noticeably slower compared to McLaren's MCL39. With 2 weeks to go before the Australian GP, the team is working tirelessly to perfect their setup, hoping they can close the gap and unlock the car's full potential. At this point, Ferrari's engineers are deep into analyzing the data from their testing sessions. After a challenging start, particularly in braking performance, the team is optimistic that the SF25 has a lot of untapped potential. The adjustments made over the winter have made the car more complex to set up, but they also believe these changes will pay off once they fine-tune the setup. Ferrari's work on the front axle has certainly made a difference, and the shift in the center of gravity could give them a significant advantage on tracks like Melbourne, where high-speed corners and braking stability are crucial. However, the real question is whether they can be competitive right from the start of the season, or if the gap to their rivals, especially McLaren, will be too wide to overcome. As we look ahead to the Australian Grand Prix, one of the biggest unknowns in the competition is Red Bull's position. Their RB21 has shown little in terms of visible changes, but the real improvements are happening under the hood, specifically in the cooling systems that have been a persistent issue for the team. Despite not conducting full race simulations during the Bahrain tests, Red Bull's focus has been on making the car more stable and improving its overall reliability. With the team opting to focus on different testing parameters, it's unclear where they'll land once the season moves to Melbourne. The absence of major upgrades has left many wondering if Red Bull will still hold the upper hand, or if their rivals, especially McLaren and Ferrari, will catch up as they continue to refine their cars. Over at Mercedes, the W16 has shown significant progress, completing the most laps in Bahrain. Despite the ups and downs of the past few years, the team has been working hard to make sure they provide their drivers with a steady car for the upcoming season. After some unexpected highs and lows last year, Toto Wolff's squad is determined to address the inconsistencies that plagued them in 2024. Mercedes has already acknowledged that their rivals, especially McLaren, have made impressive strides. However, the gap between McLaren and Mercedes appeared to close somewhat as the testing progressed. The W16's overall performance is promising, but Mercedes still faces challenges, particularly in slower corners, where their car has struggled in the past. As the team heads into the final stretch of preparations, there's a sense that they're on the right track, but still have a long way to go before they can challenge for top positions. McLaren's performance has been a standout. In the testing sessions, with both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri showcasing impressive consistency in varying conditions. The MCL39's aerodynamic efficiency continues to shine, providing both drivers with confidence as they prepare for the Australian Grand Prix. The team's bold front-end design, which has garnered attention, doesn't seem to be hindering their understanding of the car. In fact, McLaren's approach has proven to be highly effective in terms of balance and stability. While Melbourne will present a completely different challenge, the team is feeling confident about the progress made. Andrea Stella, McLaren's technical director, expressed satisfaction with the work done so far, noting that the team has learned a lot about the car's characteristics. They're now focused on refining their setup further in the lead-up to the race, and with this momentum, they'll be a team to watch closely. As for Ferrari, they finished last year as McLaren's closest competitors, thanks to excellent development during the summer break. The SF25 has some inherent flaws, but nothing that can't be addressed with time and proper adjustments. The upcoming shift from Bahrain's cooler conditions to Australia's hotter temperatures will be crucial. Ferrari has made significant changes to improve load and efficiency, which will be tested when they head to Melbourne. The front end of the SF25 has been a particular focus, with improvements designed to enhance stability under braking. However, the lighter downforce setup, which has its advantages on certain circuits, has also exacerbated some of the car's handling issues. The team is working hard to refine these adjustments and ensure the SF25 performs at its best in the Australian GP. The real question remains: will Ferrari's improvements be enough to compete with McLaren and Red Bull when the season kicks off? Looking ahead, Ferrari's engineers are already evaluating the data collected from testing, and their focus is now on refining the SF25 for the first race. The car's potential is clear, but it's all about finding the right balance between the changes made and the car's overall performance. The next couple of weeks will be critical in determining whether Ferrari can challenge their rivals from the very start of the season. With Hamilton and Leclerc set to lead the charge, there's hope that the SF25 will be able to deliver results, especially if the weather conditions in Australia suit their setup. As we approach the Australian GP, the big question remains: can Ferrari surprise the grid and put themselves in contention right from the start? Or will the other teams, especially McLaren, maintain their advantage? We'll find out soon enough.